my friend. Welcome. It's a beautiful golden fall day here in Vermont. The sun is streaming through the window and it just feels really high energy in here. I wanted to take the afternoon I've been so looking forward to all week, filming this video and grabbing a cup of tea and having a chat with you. So I hope you have something warm to drink. Let me know, is it getting chilly where you are, or is it nice and warm? I would love to hear about how things are unfolding in your present journey right now. It's an interesting time of transition this season, and I think it reminds me of it's a reminder to slow down and to appreciate the present moment, to appreciate all the little ways in which we change in our own journeys. I love the different things that the seasons represent. But today I wanted to take some time to talk about creativity and minimalism, returning to this topic that we keep coming back to. And more specifically, how can we apply mindfulness, the practice of mindfulness, to our daily lives in a way that will positively impact our creativity? I think that as creatives, there's so many opportunities to incorporate mindfulness in ways that we haven't even imagined yet. It's unlimited, it really is. There's so many opportunities every single day in our lives to incorporate aspects of mindfulness. And I think that starts with acknowledging what mindfulness means. To have your mind full of something, mindful. And I was thinking about this yesterday, and it brought me to this conclusion. Mindfulness itself proves to us that our awareness is limited. Our awareness is finite. And when I say limited, I don't mean limited in a negative way. I think this is actually one area in which it is good to be limited. And sometimes, especially in today's world, we can look at being all the places all the time, doing all the things as such a positive, as such a great tool for moving us forward in our careers or in our daily lives and our relationships. But really, this is the one area, one of the most important areas in which we need to be limited. Our awareness is limited. Our attention is limited. When we say pay attention, it's interesting that we use the word pay because that's something we use for currency, exchanging currency, right? I'm buying something, I'm giving you money in exchange for that, a limited resource for another resource. Our attention is a limited resource. We only have so much attention to give. That's why we can't be everywhere at the same time. That's why we can't multitask very well. I know some of you might want to fight me on that in the comments. I could think of a few friends who would challenge me on that. And I understand the need to multitask sometimes. I really do. There have been times when I have juggled multiple projects at the same time. But really, in order to be mindful, we have to let go of this urge to have to juggle everything, to have to spin all the plates. Our awareness is a limited resource. And if we can just pause and look at it that way and realize, okay, that is limited. My awareness is limited. I can only be aware of so many things. So what are the things I really need to be aware of right now? What are the things that really bring my creativity out, my inspiration out? What are the things that are making my heart hum? What are the things that truly feed my soul? What are the things that are truly moving me forward in my journey, both spiritually, physically, emotionally, creatively? And what are some of the things that I'm giving a lot of attention to that are soaking up a lot of my attention that aren't necessarily helping and serving? And which of those can I let go of? Because I think part of the reason why we're so often distracted and scattered and spending lots of time, and we're like, where did my time even go? I don't know about you, but I've felt like that so many times. So many times I'll get to the end of the day and be like, where did the day even go? I didn't accomplish half of what I was hoping to. It's because we kind of mindlessly go about our days sometimes. We give attention to so many things without even realizing, like, all that awareness is just escaping us. If we were aware of everything we were paying our attention to, how would it change our creative process? How would it change the way we look at the resource of our attention? What would we take our attention away from? And what would we give more of our attention to? See, I like to recenter with a meditation before I start my writing day. And I always invite you guys to be very open-minded about what meditation is, because it doesn't have to match someone else's definition of what meditation means to them. It can be taking 5 minutes to just deep breathe, recenter, clear your mind of any thoughts that might be weighing you down, any negative self-talk, to release that compassionately, to let go and realize, you know what? I'm a divine creator. I have the ability to create. I have been given this project, this inspiration for a reason. I'm going to use it for good. And I'm going to keep going. It can be as simple as that. It can be 5 minutes of your morning. And I find that when I recenter in this, it brings me back to that core of who I am as a creative being. It makes me mindful of this moment. My mind is full of this moment. Just like when we were kids, remember how we would get so enthralled with what we were making in the backyard with our friends or whatever. And we would be so caught up. We wouldn't even notice it was like getting dark. You know, my mom's like, hey, come in, it's getting dark. And we didn't even notice because we were so wrapped up in what we were doing. We can tap into that mindfulness. Our mind is so full of the present that it allows us to create to our fullest potential. When we're scattered, when we're thinking about a long to-do list, our inbox, social media, what someone might think of our work, when we're so many different places, we're not really anywhere. Because we can't be in all those places at once, and we're not really here, but we're not really there. So we're kind of in this limbo in between everything. And it's this place of dryness, not uncreative feelings, creative stuckness, desert. That's what it feels like. Those are some of the words I've heard other creators use to describe this place of feeling overwhelmed by too many things. So how can we release that? I think you have to answer that question. But I think asking yourself the question and acknowledging that our awareness is limited, and we have to be very careful with where we pay our sacred attention. I think that is half the battle right there. We're already halfway there when we have asked ourselves that question. We've acknowledged, hey, despite the trends and what social media tells me and what hustle culture tells me, I don't have to do all the things. I don't have to be 100 different places. I don't need to be accomplishing constantly. I don't need to be giving my attention to so many things. And I know a lot of you are writers and creatives, so you're working on your creative projects and you're like, Kate, there's a lot involved to launching some sort of a career as a creative and getting your name out there. You have to be on top of a lot. Yes, definitely. I understand that for sure. But even so, if we can be very precise about what we're giving our attention to, the attention that we're giving into whatever avenues we choose will serve us that much more for being channeled into only a few things rather than scattered across many different things. You know what I mean? It's like we have less plates we're spinning. We're only focusing on 2. We're only focusing on 3 rather than 50. So we're going to be actually giving so much more meaningful energy to the things in our lives that we are giving our attention to rather than trying to do everything all at once. We have to choose. We have to be really mindful and aware of the things that we're choosing, the things that we're inviting into our lives. An invitation is a mindful request for something to enter your life and to enter your world. I like to think of my life that way, that I'm inviting things and I'm also letting go of other things with compassion, with love, with gratitude for that served me, and now it's time to let it go because I've grown past it. It's okay to grow and change. But let's make it a mindful choice and realize that they are indeed choices. We're inviting, we're letting go. Let's not just let life bump into us. Let's make compassionate, mindful choices that will further steep us in who we are as creatives. So this is something that I've been thinking about over the past few days. So I thought I would sit down and chat with you guys about it. Please, please, please let me know what you think down in the comments. I love to hear your thoughts and what is moving your heart at this present time. I love hearing about your unfolding path, how it's serving you. What is this season bringing to the forefront of your mind? I have a new book out for those of you who might be interested. It's called Sparrow Rising, and it's the last book in my series. I would love to invite you to grab a copy with the link below. I meant to grab a copy to show you, but I forgot. Oh well, you can click the link to see the cover. It's really cool. It's about stepping into the light and finding identity. It's a really good story. I love it. I love the whole series. Has my heart, and you can get the first book free actually, and I'll leave that link down there too. So if you're interested in seeing some of my writing, you can find all that below. I hope you enjoyed this little conversation, and if you think it might inspire someone, if you're moved, someone comes to your mind to send it to, I think that's probably for a reason. I always love to follow those impulses to share the love. So if you feel like doing that, feel free to share, like, subscribe so you'll be here in the community. And if you feel drawn to support or give in any way, there is a link to my Patreon and also my Etsy shop where we're working on adding some new mindful types of lifestyle things coming soon. So you can find all of that down in the description. Thank you so much, my friend, for joining me today. I wish you so much joy in your creative journey. I send you all my love, all my gratitude, and I hope this message reached you in a positive way. I'll see you next time. Namaste.